yeah, this morning and last night, very interesting on the weather front. It was warm and it was wet. It was really kind of freaking pouring down, which I don't know if you care, but I definitely like sleeping with a thunderstorm. It's just kind of interesting. Plus, you see a freaking lightning flash every so often. That's more of like a midsummer kind of thing. But like a really crazy thunderstorm in Ohio, they get cool. It's like, I can't think of the closest lightning strike I've ever seen. Maybe within a mile distance, maybe even a half mile before. But yeah, this is getting me excited about the warmer seasons. It's just freaking nice. I'm even feeling the sun hit me right now. That's what I want to see. But yeah, no more snow. It's actually starting to seem like springtime. It's going to be lush and green soon enough. But plan for this morning is going to be hamstrings, and I've been doing an hour of cardio for each session for the last 2 weeks, or not 2 weeks, but like the last week. I've been upping it to an hour instead of 45 minutes. And I think I need to back it off. I think I got to pull back to 45 because I can tell I'm like starting to feel like I'm trudging through that hour instead of the 45, which actually felt like pretty, I don't want to say smooth sailing, but for me to even say that, it's like, am I just taking it easy on myself, or am I giving myself an unrealistic expectation, And I've definitely got a little bit of a a little bit of a habit of doing that, because it's like, all right, I'm going to tell myself hour of cardio session 1, hour of cardio session 2. All right, that's what I'm doing. I said I'm doing it. Like, I would feel like I cheated myself if I sat down on the bike and told myself I'm doing an hour, and then I came off at 45, or if I came off at 30. Like if I had, if somehow I get a call and like I had to go do something, that'd be a little different. Like I wouldn't feel like that's just life, But if the only motivation for me to skip or like pull back was just because in the moment I'm like, this is kind of hard, I mean, that sucks. I don't want to do that. I don't want to know that I did that. Like it's the putting your grocery cart away after you pack up the car kind of dilemma. Like, I guess nobody got hurt, but guess what? You didn't do your freaking part. You didn't fulfill your role that you were supposed to. And some people don't give a shit, I guess. But, a little thing like that, especially when it's important as the cardio is, it irks me, But I think 2 hours is a little much. I can kind of at least appreciate the the slight craziness of that statement. 2 hours of cardio a day is pushing it. Let me just back off to an hour and a half of cardio per day. yeah. Let's go back. I gotta go back to 45 because so I think I'll probably do that and just drop my calories a tiny little bit, maybe drop my carbs by like 25 grams or something. But either way, home stretch, 2 weeks out essentially. So I'll still kind of kill it with the cardio and the training until like the third, maybe even the second, honestly, because the few days before competition, you don't get anything out of. And I mean, this is like for the purpose of a bodybuilding show. There's no muscle to be gained. What I'm really going to try to do that first week of March is just reduce my overall inflammation, get ready for some carb and water manipulation, and then show up on stage as pumped as possible. So that's going to be the most rest days I ever take ever, just the few days pre-show. So until then, I'll keep ramping up the cardio, just try to get a little teensy little bit leaner between now and then. But even if I had to jump on stage tomorrow, or let's say in a couple of days, I'm still going to be able to bring a look that's way crazier than my first show, and that's my ultimate goal. So, barring any unforeseen circumstance, I mean, this is just going to be fun. But this lift is going to be hamstrings and a little bit of calves. But really, there's not much to see. I'll probably just splice through some of these sets, because all I'm going to do is the seated curl, maybe actually, yeah, pretty much just the seated curl. The laying curl is a little bit stretch biased more than I want right now. Maybe I'll do a light one, I don't know, either way. But 6, you know, a number that's above the number 6 worth of sets of just light squeezing, burning hamstring curls with some single leg calf raises, just body weight in between. That's really all I need, you know, because what am I doing? I'm not growing my hamstrings whatsoever. I'm just maintaining the size that they already have. So I've got to stimulate them enough to give them a pump, you know, make sure blood's moving, keep them as big as they already are, and then, you know, lose body fat on the outside. So the real hard part of the training is just the cardio afterward. The lift itself is a little more low key, which isn't fun to say, you know, like it's not cool for me to say that I'm not gonna wreck my hamstrings like a freaking freight train, but it's, you know, it's just kind of part of the deal. Those lifts will return. I went back and I watched an old summer lift from like 6 months ago of me doing legs. Holy crap. I feel like I'm freaking unrecognizable from 6 months ago. So maybe, I don't know, maybe this next bulk I'll take it easy and not get too soft, or maybe throw that idea out the window and just get as big as freaking possible. Who knows? Who freaking knows? That's for future me to figure out. We still got some stuff to do over this next month and a half. But yeah, nothing else to say, so let's just get this hamstring. Really, I'm more excited for the hamstring pose down than for the lift itself, because the pose down is kind of a little bit of a check-in. We'll see if there's any additional grain factor that's been revealed over these last couple of freaking days. All right, let's get started. Not too light, not too heavy. 145. That's about half the stack. So I want to really hold these at the bottom and have like an extra oomph of a squeeze. And we'll just go from there. Okay, a few more just like that. I'll go slightly heavier, just a little. Okay. Yeah, one more. Okay. Oh, all right. Let's see how legs are looking. All right, yeah, threw in some single leg standing calf raises in between each of those sets. I mean, pretty chill. All I'm doing is like grab onto something for support, and then just kind of bounce on the right leg for 10, bounce on the left for 10, zip around back and forth. But yeah, overall dryness slash kind of grain wise, yeah, man, I'm feeling good. And don't forget, this is not with pumped quads here. The only thing pumped in my lower body is my hamstrings. So yeah, I feel like that's a pretty decent amount of thickness, mainly like up here in this sort of outer quad region. Like I feel like my legs are much thicker in this outer quad than last year. But even just looking like kind of unflexed on anything, like I don't know if I've ever seen my quad skin this thin or with this much like texture and feathering. Like that is not something you see all the time. I must have just got genetically lucky to have this many just continuous like, feathering fibers on this side. But yeah, let's see what a little side chest is looking like. So glutes should have just a little bit more striations than last time. Let's see how noticeable or unnoticeable it is. Oh, yeah, what are you yeah, what are you freaking talking about? So this is still, not like fully prepped dry or anything. But even just to have like this much lines on that chunk of my leg this far out with still a little bit of time to go, that's not nothing. So I've never seen my legs look this thick from the side, which is just really freaking cool for me. But yeah, I think nothing else to discuss. I got 45 minutes of the bike, so how about I just get that finished and then we can have a little post-lift recap in the car.